Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. So as some of you may know, my family and we have been faithfully using Xylitol for about the past 9 months, and we have had amazing success as a result with our oral health. And that includes having fresher breath, yes, even in the morning. So imagine my surprise when a couple of weeks ago, I went to give our son his hug goodnight, and his breath just smelled a little funky, a little off. And he assured me that he's still taking his xylitol like normal, still brushing his teeth thoroughly, and quick look at his teeth. They look good. Doesn't look like he's been skipping. And I asked him if he was having any problems with sinuses, nasal drainage, throat pain, and he assured me like he felt perfectly fine. Anyway, a few days passed, and his breath, it was still kind of kicking. So I went ahead and looked in his throat with a flashlight, and sure enough, I spotted what looked to be several tonsil stones. So our tonsils are kind of unique in that they have what are called tonsillar crypts. So these are kind of like little crevices in the tonsils. And tonsil stones form when you have bacteria, dead cells, food particles, things like that, that get stuck in these tonsillar crypts, and then they start to harden or calcify. Now, if I had to venture a guess as to the origin story of these tonsil stones, I would probably guess that it was from 3 or 4 weeks ago when the whole family basically came down with a viral infection that was going around. It seemed everybody was getting sick. And so my son, he did have a fever, he had swollen tonsils, he had a sore throat, nasal drainage, a cough, but within 2 to 3 days it had dissipated, so we never really thought any more of it. But the thing with tonsil stones is that certain bacterial and viral infections can leave you more prone to developing tonsil stones because the tonsils are swollen, and also you have increased mucus, debris, and bacteria that can get stuck in those tonsillar crypts. So I'm guessing that is where this problem originated, and then just over a couple weeks it developed, and then next thing you know, we got the stinky breath. As I mentioned though, at this point, the not so great breath was really the only symptom. He wasn't having any throat pain, he wasn't having any sinus issues, any ear pain, any fever, anything like that. Basically just the breath was kind of smelly, and he was having a little bit of a nasty taste in his mouth too, despite taking the xylitol like we've been doing for the last 9 months. So because he didn't have any symptoms that appeared to need to see a doctor for, we decided to go ahead and try some home remedies. So what we did was salt water gargles. So about 3 times a day, we would take a cup of water and dissolve 1 teaspoon of salt into that water, have him gargle with it for 20 to 30 seconds, spit it out, and then afterwards he would take a dose of xylitol to help bring his mouth pH back to that healthy, healing, slightly alkalytic pH, and to encourage a wash of healthy, healing saliva to the mouth as well. Saltwater gargles are a popular recommendation for things like tonsil stones because the salt water, well, particularly the salt in the salt water, acts as a mild abrasive to help to loosen and dislodge the stones, and it also has properties that help it to decrease inflammation. So that's why we were using the saltwater gargles. Some of the other recommendations I saw online included using a Q-tip to kind of milk the stones out, or using a water flosser to kind of shoot at your tonsils. But those sounded a little bit more invasive, so we opted to start first with the salt gargles. And in our case, they were highly effective. Within probably about 24 to 36 hours, he had dislodged all 3 stones. His tonsils looked looked good, no more, because there was just a little bit of redness with around those stones. They weren't red anymore, no swelling, the stones were gone, he spit them out, and his breath was back to normal. So we did continue doing the gargles for about 5 days just to make sure we were all good, kind of just for prevention. But everything seems to be fine and has worked out, and he's back to his normal routine and back to having that nice fresh breath that we've all become accustomed to. Now, one thing I did want to just say before I wrap this video up is that in our case, with our son, he was not having any kind of worrisome symptoms. He was having funky breath and a bad taste in his mouth, but he wasn't having any fevers, any pain, any trouble swallowing, any trouble breathing, anything like that. So that's why we opted to do the at-home remedies. And by and large, most of the research that I did online, most sources did say that in the majority of cases, tonsil stones are not dangerous or harmful, and that it is safe to try some of these at-home remedies. But if you are having painful stones or recurrent issues with tonsil stones, it is recommended that you go ahead and seek the attention of a medical professional. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys, share our little experience and what worked for us. And with that, if you enjoyed this video, got something out of it, enjoy these types of topics, talking about just the way that I am seeking out healthy living for myself and my family, then please consider giving this video a thumbs up, a like, leaving a comment down below. Have you ever had tonsil stones? This is the first time that I've ever actually seen one in person, even though I've heard of other people with them. If you know somebody who could benefit from this information, please feel free to share this video. And as I said, if you did enjoy this video and would enjoy seeing more content from us, please consider hitting that subscribe button and becoming a part of the Low Key Life family. And with that, until next time, bye.